Salman and I are going to read some brief extracts from his books. There are far too many books, and it's very difficult to make a selection. This is a random selection. Before I say that, his wife sent me an email about 3 months ago. She's moved to a new house. They sold the house in Virginia, and she's moved back to where her family comes from, which is Vermont. And she said that the kitchen is downstairs, and her bedroom is upstairs. She says about 2 in the morning, she heard Khalid's voice, and she came to she got out of bed, and he was saying, "Where have you kept the salt?" He was cooking. So, because he was very fond of cooking. And Salman's father, who lived in Birmingham,
one of his
favorite cooks. And he said that, "Yaar, Salim shayad aloo gosht bada acha hai bananda hai te recipe nahi denda." So Zia, Muhyiddin and Khalid had descended on Salim Shahid Sahab, and he was cooking. So Khalid Sahab साथ छोटा pad वो journalist का जो होता है लेके is trying to get to see कि what he's doing, मसाले क्या डाल रहे हैं, तो वो आगे हो जाते थे ताकि नजर ना आए.
Wouldn't have helped very much. He was a short man.
Yeah.
You could look over his shoulder.
But he tried very hard, and he said, "Yes, इसलिए किस तरह बना रहे हो कि मैं नहीं दसता कहीं." And Musarrat Nazir was another favorite of his. He went to her and he asked her to make karele gosht for him. And she started cooking, and she was what he called a lightning speed cook. He said she cooked at the speed of light. And she'd take 5 minutes and the dish would be ready. And he kept bothering her in the kitchen, asking, "Acha masala kinna paya? Taniya paya li nahi paya? Ki kar karele nu ki kita?" So finally Musarrat just got fed up. She said, "Eh das karele khane ki chitar." कहना है करेले, कहते फिर चुप हो जाए, दूसरे कमरे में बैठ जाके. One piece on Chirag Hasan Hasrat from that, Khalid writes, "In the early days, the Imroz office had the oddest neighbors, among them a goods forwarding trucking company. One day, a young boy walked into Hasrat's room and said, 'Ilandeen driver wants 2 tires, size 12 by 16. Hasrat Sahab looked up. He was writing his column. Calmly stepped out of the room and shouted across the corridor to the attendant, "We better order some 12 by 16 type tires immediately, because that is the business people think this newspaper is in." Khalid greatly admired his work and the person. He said it was Hasrat who classified Pakistani communists into 3 categories: Shalgame, which was red outside and white inside; Amrudiye, which was white outside, red inside; and Chakandriye, red outside, red inside. And he was the one who said about Mumtaz Doltana that if you take away Daulat from his name, you are left with nothing but an Anna. When Chiang Kai-shek fled to Formosa after the success of the Chinese Revolution, Khalid writes, Mian Iftikharuddin burst into Hasrat's room in great excitement. "What do you think he's going to do now?" he asked. Hasrat took a long drag at his cigarette and replied, "I think he's going to bring out a newspaper."
The Way Forward is the title of the piece. My money is on Professor Dr. Maulana Tahirul Qadri, the one and only chairman of the Pakistan Awami Tehreek, who stood before his cheering supporters the other day in Gujranwala, that celebrated city of wrestlers, truck drivers, Mr. Ghulam Dastagir Khan and cricketer Wasim Raja, and promised to eliminate the 4 evils of corruption, drinking, adultery, and dishonesty within a period of 1 month on coming to power. Bravo, there is a man after my own heart. And how does here Dr. Qadri propose to come to power? Through the people's vote, says he. Again, bullseye. How he is going to persuade the people to get off their haunches and slip that magic piece of paper with the funny symbols in that wooden box with a big slot on top and a false bottom at the bottom is not clear. Through prayer, perhaps, since God moves in strange ways. It is another matter that the people of Pakistan are much smarter than her Professor Doctor thinks. Perhaps it is the last 12 years that have done it. It would appear that as soon as they know they have something, somebody wishing to become their beloved leader wants rather badly, they respond in an utterly reasonable manner by indicating that the desired piece of paper can be had as long as banknotes with the crinkle of potato chips can change hands as among brothers. Well, that's the opening piece to this.
On Sardar Sadiq, many columns, but one, and a really nice one. This is called Sardar Sadiq, the uncrowned king of Lahore. Sardar Sadiq was once asked if he could identify what was wrong with the Ayub government. It is un-Islamic, he replied. When asked to explain, he said, we Muslims believe in one Allah, but there are at least 3 in this one. There is Malik Allah Yar, then you have Allah Bakhsh Bachayo, and finally there is Ui Allah. Who is the last one? Sardar Sahib was asked. Begum Zada Khaliqu Zaman, Sardar Sahib answered.
I remembered a piece of his which I don't think Masood was able to lay his hands on. 2 pieces that I remembered from his relatively more recent writing days, not from the period when he used to write his column titled of this and that, but later on, probably in the Friday Times or something like that. One was on Noor Jahan, and one was on Colonel Yusuf. Colonel Yusuf, famous from the Renata Girdezi Colonel Yusuf triangle case. And but that's not here right now. Right. And there's a much more elaborate piece on Noor Jahan here.
Yes, there is, of course. One piece written called Dear Quaid-e-Azam. I hope this letter reaches. I haven't registered it because registered letters have been known not to make it. Something to do with the censors, though why they don't send them on their way after retaining a copy for the black file is anybody's guess. There is one gentleman who says he was your secretary, and newspapers often print a picture of his standing behind you and Mahatma Gandhi. Since that is the basic evidence, it could be argued with equal logic that he was Mahatma Gandhi's secretary also. However, that is not the reason I'm writing to you. You would be happy to know that we are trying to set up an Islamic state, just as you said that we should. At least that is what we are told. We have introduced many good things, such as Islamic punishments, although some people say that these punishments were introduced by the British and not by Islam. Dear Quaid, so many of us wish you were around so that we could ask you these things ourselves. As that can't be, we can only write you a letter. I don't want to be long, but when you write, could you please enclose a copy of all the speeches you ever made, because as things are, we may not be able to lay our hands on them before long. Already the speech you made to the First Constituent Assembly is difficult to get hold of. It is being said that either you did not make it, or if you did, you meant something else. P.S. Please don't send the letter registered. It may end up you know where.
This is nonetheless from the extended piece on Madam Noor Jahan. This is part of it and it's the ending. I'm not really familiar with this, but it goes like this, and there are a lot of pages before this on Noor Jahan. It goes like this. It says, Madame Noor Jahan was a great woman and a great artist. And now the gods have made her immortal like her music. She has the toast of India. She was the toast of India when Pakistan and India were one country. She chose to come to Pakistan because that was where her heart lay. The little town of Kasur, where she was born, always remained close to her, and Lahore was the city she loved. One of her great regrets when she fell ill in Karachi was that her doctors would not let her travel to Lahore. She was not even fated to be buried there. It is said that she had expressed the wish to be buried in Kasur, but that was not to be. Her sons decided otherwise. Malaka-e-Tarannum Noor Jahan stands dignified in death as in life, mourned by millions and remembered with love. She was truly blessed because the devotion that people feel for her is denied by God to all but the elect. Awaz de kahan hai?
He wrote a very long piece on Sialkot, which is quite a wonderful piece. And in that he wrote that Zakaria, my brother Masood's friend, wrote to me from Naples after I had sent him the short memoir of Sialkot I had published in the Lahore Weekly, the Friday Times, near the close of 2001. Those names, wrote Zakaria to Khalid, have triggered a million memories for me. Mohalla Kashmiriya, Do Darwaza, Chowk Pasuriya, Adda Pasuriya, Shivala, Chhauni, Akhtar Mirza, Chacha Mohammadin, Professor Tressler, Reverend D.L. Scott, Tajammul Rathore, his regular evening walk to Pedda Pul that we used to call Trent Bridge via Paris Road after a short stopover at Agha Mubarak Ali's little store to buy fags and exchange a few or no words at all, depending on who knows what. Dramawala Chowk, Whiskey Shah, Malik and Sons, and the group of thoroughbred Sialkot elites sitting in a circle at the Burma Shell petrol pump in front of Amelia Hotel, smoking and gossiping with that typical earth smell in the summer evenings, moist air after the passage of the Mashki, the water sprinkling man. NQ Khaja, Abdul Hamid Khan, Khalid Khalo, Hamo as Hamid, Babar, Jahangir, Jango, Jangex Matha to us. This is one family, all brothers. Riaz Ali, photo by. He used to sign his pictures, photo by Riaz Ali. So he was called photo by. Apart from his landscapes decorating Amelia Hotel's greasy light blue walls, do you remember his craze to photograph kites with their menacing look feasting on dead cows, donkeys, and dogs? Park Cafe, always called Cafe, and Rahim Baksh the waiter, who said, Zakaria Saab, don't say that the chutney is not hot enough. You wait until tomorrow morning. Swear you will howl. You will eat your chips without chutney for the rest of your life. Ghulam Qadir and Sons, the fantastic bread and the savory fruit cake one bought there. All these things or all these names bring back some memories and make me relive perhaps the best part of my life without visiting Sialkot. It is so strange. I miss Sialkot most of the time, but once I'm there, I would rather leave soonest. Our Sialkot is dead, its old glory is buried forever because Chacha Mohammadin is no more around selling oranges in front of Murray College main gate. Thank you.